is up, YouTube? My name is Evan, I'm the host of Nintenno Podcast, if you didn't know that already. And today is going to be my very first time streaming anything ever. Won't that be fun? And actually, because it's my first time, I have no clue if this stream is even working or not. My Elgato software tells me that it is, so hopefully it's working. So here's what we're doing. You're going to notice I am not playing Warframe, and there's a specific reason for that. So we are called the Nintenno Podcast. Primarily, we're a Warframe show, but we are focusing on the Switch version of Warframe. So I'm sure that a lot of you guys own a Switch or are interested in Switch, and yesterday had a super hype Nintendo Direct. So we're going to go over that right now. Now, I recorded some footage from some of the games that were released yesterday, demos and full games, but of course, that recorded footage was corrupted. So I decided, you know what? Kind of got me in the mood to play some Yoshi's Island after playing a little bit of the Yoshi's Crafted World demo. So I'm going to go ahead and just start a brand new game in Yoshi's Island, and we're going to stream some Super Nintendo while we talk about that Nintendo Direct. Now, again, you'll have to forgive me. This is my first time streaming, so forgive me if I get a little off topic, if I lose my place or anything along those lines, because I'm going to try to do game and commentary like this pretty much for the first time. So, anyway. We got our lovely little Yoshis. They're all in an uproar that the baby fell from the sky. Yada, yada, yada. I'm sure a lot of you guys have played this game before. It is classic. Confession time here, I have played this game before, never beaten it, and I do enjoy it a lot, but we're going to see how this goes since this is my first time streaming this. So, wait, the baby seems to know where he wants to go. Let's see. Ah, hey, look! My stream appears to be working. Hopefully you guys can hear it okay. Excellent. I think you can. Okay. Let me see. Welcome to the stream. Nintenno. So I'm not going to lie, since this is my first time, I may not pay attention to the chat too much. If anybody even jumps into the chat, I might not even get any views on this. Who knows, because we are a small YouTube channel. So forgive me if I'm a little delayed. I'm going to be trying to balance my show notes here and also my streaming. So let's go ahead and start talking some as we play. I'm just going to skip through all this because, you know, it's Yoshi. We've done it before. We've seen it before. Let's talk about that show. So first things first, right off the bat, I'm going to throw this out. I'm not going to hit every game in this video because my goal is only to stream for about maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Just a real brief thing. Actually, full transparency, I am going to be coordinating an event here soon. I told you guys on the show I work for a church and we're doing a live event on YouTube. So part of the reason I'm doing this stream is just to practice doing YouTube Live. I've never done it before, so just kind of practicing and making sure I know how it works before this event comes up. So, nonetheless, that's part of why I'm doing this. So, I'm not going to talk about everything, and I'm only going to go for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, but I do want you guys to know there's a few games that I'm definitely not going to hit on, and here's what they are. I'm not going to talk about Box Boy, Rune Factory, Captain Toad, Starlink, Unravel, Grid, Dead by Daylight, or Undertale / Deltarune, because I've never played any of those games. So a few of them are getting ported over, as you guys may have heard yesterday, but since I've never played them, I don't really have anything to contribute to that conversation, so I feel kind of silly offering commentary on that. So I'm not going to. But I will go on ahead and comment on a couple of my favorite things and a couple of my least favorite things from the Direct yesterday. First of all, the Direct yesterday really impressed me. I didn't expect there to be so much information. And I think, hopefully I'm not speaking out of line here, I think that a few people actually were a little bit disappointed because there were some key games that they were wanting that they didn't get to see. I know one in particular was the Metroid Prime trilogy. It didn't really come up. So there were a few things like that that people really wanted, and I know a lot of people were kind of crossing their fingers for kind of basically a Majora's Mask version of Breath of the Wild, which, yeah, that would be cool to do a sequel to Breath of the Wild that hopefully could come out, you know, a little bit quicker, because they've already got the assets built and all that stuff. Man, it's been a long time since I've played Yoshi, so forgive me, I'm going to be real trash in this gameplay, but after all, we are a Warframe channel. So my first responsibility is to be trash at Warframe, not at Yoshi, so don't judge too harshly. So, anyway, I was extremely impressed. I did not expect there to be as many announcements, and I didn't expect the show to be packed quite as much as it was. So, the first one that I want to hit on is Super Mario Maker 2. It's a huge deal that this game comes out. I think a lot of people have been kind of shocked that the original Mario Maker hadn't come out already, and I personally would fall into that camp. It's very surprising to me. But it doesn't change anything. It hasn't come out. They didn't put it out, and I guess it's because they're doing Super Mario Maker 2. Now, the first thing that I wondered when I saw this announcement was whether this was going to be like, like Mario Kart 8, where Mario Kart 8 obviously was a great game. It was the first time a lot of people had played that game, but on Switch, it's not that different from what it was on the Wii U. So I am curious if Mario Maker 2 is going to be just a few little extra things. And the other thing I wonder, as somebody who never actually played Super Mario Maker, the original, I do wonder how feature complete that game was. I don't know if there were a lot of things from classic Mario that were not included. It seems pretty feature-rich to me, but again, that's as a non-player. My biggest beef with Mario Maker is that I'm not honestly a massive fan of the straight-up Mario, the core Mario games. Those aren't really my thing. I respect them because I know they're hugely important to the industry and all that good stuff. But Mario is kind of a craving game to me, where there will be points that I'm like, man, I could really go for a Mario game right now. But I don't think I've ever finished a 2D Mario game all the way through. They're not my jam. And the other thing is, anytime a game comes out with a level creator, I always get super excited and think, man, I'm going to build the world. I'm so excited. And I get a little overly ambitious. I'm a creative. I do all the graphic design, do the voiceover, I do the editing and everything for this show. And so, as a creative, I get pretty excited with the idea of having my own level creating abilities. But I never stick with it, and I get a little too ambitious, and so I'm like, man, I'm going to build this 52 million level game, and it's going to be amazing. And then I get a third of the way through the first level and get discouraged and quit. That's just me. So, anyway, Mario Maker is it's not for me. At least I don't think it is. Again, as someone who's never tried it, I really do want to try it. I want to give it a shake because I know it's a good game. I know it's extremely popular. I like watching people stream it and all that stuff. I don't think it's a game that's for me. So Super Mario Maker 2 is incredibly exciting. It's about time, but it's not really for me. Smash. They talk about Smash 3.0, and obviously that's cool. I don't really understand why they didn't actually talk about Smash 3.0. They just said it's coming. Of course it's coming. Every game gets updated. But whatever, I'd rather know that it's coming than, I guess, fear that it's not. But anyway, the things that excited me, though, about that are, of course, Joker. I am a huge Persona 5 fan. I'm a big Persona 4 Golden fan. I'm so excited to see a character as out of left field as Joker is, and I can't wait to see what his moveset's going to be like. There's so many creative possibilities for that game, and I think if they deliver, and if they really kind of grab at the personality and the heart of Persona, I think that he could be insanely cool. And I haven't seen anything to make me think that they won't do that. I mean, that scared me. Smash Bros. Obviously does a ton of things right, but one of the things crap. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. One of the things Smash Bros. Does best, at least in my opinion, is really kind of owning the characters that they're including. They make the characters feel special. They embrace the games that they're involved in. So I think that Smash does an incredible job of representing the franchises that the characters come from. So I have no fears that Joker's going to be incredibly creative, incredibly reverent to the source material, and he's going to be awesome. So I'm excited to see him. And then I am extremely excited about that Simon amiibo. As somebody who's really not an amiibo guy, oh my gosh, that Simon amiibo looks insanely cool. And also, a Joker amiibo. I know they didn't reveal it yet, but that Simon amiibo got me extremely excited for what the Joker amiibo will be like, because I think it's going to be super rad. I just can't wait. Ooh, I forgot that I can do that. Man, it's been way too long since I have played this game. Oh, hey, come here, little shy guys. I'm gonna eat you. So, anyway, Smash is exciting to me. Ultimate Alliance 3 is a weird one. I love Marvel. I'm a big comic book guy. I really liked the original Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Ultimate Alliance 2. I did prefer X-Men Legends. I think part of it is that I'm not a big fan of brawlers, and X-Men Legends was more of an RPG, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong about that, but as I remember it from back in the day, Legends was an RPG, Marvel was a brawler with some light RPG elements, and that's not really for me. So I think my enjoyment of Ultimate Alliance 3 is going to be entirely built around whether or not it's an RPG brawler or just a straight-up punch-and-kick thing. Link's Awakening. Oh my gosh, Link's Awakening. I am extremely excited for that. Oops, hold on. I didn't read this little speech bubble, and it's been a while since I've played this. Press start to display your score. To use special items, use the arrows on the D-pad. Choose an item, press A, press 3. Okay, whatever. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, Link's Awakening seems super cool. It's supposed to be a great Zelda game. It's one that I didn't get to experience on the Game Boy, so I'm thrilled to get a shot. My only beef, and this won't affect whether I buy it or anything like that, my only beef thus far with the game is that I think Link looks hideously ugly. Just in my opinion, Link looks so ugly. I'm not against the art style overall. I think actually it's kind of cool. But yeah, I think Link looks like an iPhone game character. It's just me, you may disagree, but that is my opinion. So, back to that helicopter. But I'm still extremely excited. I'm still going to buy it. It's a game that I'm pumped for. I'm pretty pumped for Bloodstained as well. I don't know if you guys have played that yet. I never have. I love Castlevania, though. I actually hated Castlevania back in the day because I'd only played a couple, and I guess I expected them to feel like a Mario game when I was younger. So it didn't feel right to me. But man, I played Super Castlevania 4 on this Super Nintendo Classic right here, and that won me over to Castlevania. And now I am just insanely excited to play Bloodstained. And I know there's already one out. There's like the 8-bit game that's out, and I do intend to play that one. I'm really excited about both of those games, to be completely honest. So, Bloodstained is awesome. Assassin's Creed 3 is by far my least favorite thing that they talked about at this Direct. It's kind of a joke, if I'm being honest. And I hope I don't offend anybody. I'm sure I'm going to, because I know Assassin's Creed is kind of a popular genre, or a popular series, rather, to both love and hate on, so I know that I'm going to tick off some people here, but let me say, at least in my opinion, and seems to be in the critical opinion, Assassin's Creed 3 is one of the worst games in the series, and they paired it up with an even worse game, Assassin's Creed Liberation. Now, that's all fine and good, whatever, that it's coming to Switch, but why didn't they pick literally any other game? And because it would be more popular. But even more to the point, I don't understand why they would pick a game that's had so many other ways of playing it already. You know, like, anybody who wanted to play Assassin's Creed 3 has been able to for a long time, unless the Switch is the first console that they've owned in, 12 years? It came out on 360, it came out on PS3, it came out on Wii U, it came out on PS4, and it came out on Xbox One. I mean, if you want to play AC3, you've had your chance. You've had plenty of opportunities. That's why I feel like even Assassin's Creed Unity would have been a better choice, because at least the people who didn't have a PS4 and Xbox One would be able to play a new game. But in this case, nobody really gets a new game, and I just don't understand that. To me, it's incredibly stupid that they picked AC3 and then paired it with Liberation. I don't get it. So anyway, sorry if I'm offending you here. Don't mean to be a jerk about this one. I just think it's a stupid announcement. Not one that I'm a fan of. And one more thing, and then I'm going to get off my soapbox here. To me, that announcement, it feels like if there was this unprecedented partnership between Sony and Nintendo, and Sony announced that Uncharted 1 was coming to the Switch. There's nothing wrong with that game, but there are literally 3 home console games and a handheld game that all would have been better choices than Uncharted 1, rather. And I feel like that's what's happening here. Why was it not AC4? That's the golden child of Assassin's Creed. Why wasn't it even something like AC2 or Brotherhood, whatever? There's so many great games in that series. Why AC3? Why? I don't get it. Anyway, that's enough of that rant. Sorry if I offended you. Okay, so now on to some of my favorites. There are a few things that I wasn't super excited about, but here's a few of my favorites. As far as things I'd never even heard before, I believe I'm pronouncing this right, Oninaki sounds super cool. Just from seeing the footage of it, it looks like a really cool kind of hack and slash ARPG. We don't know a ton of stuff about it, or at least I don't, but it seems neat. You should look it up if you haven't seen stuff on it yet. I'm excited to try Dragon Quest XI. Traditionally, I'm not a big JRPG fan, but Dragon Quest XI is supposed to be really good, and I like the idea. It sounds neat to me. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Bam. Bam, okay. Bam. Ooh, look at me getting a little star voice. I'm a star boy. Okay, anyway, I'm not gonna sing. What was I even freaking saying? Oh yeah, Dragon Quest XI. It's supposed to be a pretty great game, so I'm on board. I'd love to try it at least once, just to say I did. If I don't like it, that's fine, but I want to try it. I'm not a Final Fantasy guy, honestly, so that's all right. Whatever. I'm happy for the people who are. Excited for them to enjoy it. Here are the big ones that I'm super pumped about. First of all, Yoshi's Crafted World. That's actually why I chose to play Yoshi's Island right now. I wasn't excited about Yoshi's Crafted World. And then the demo came out, and I played it. Let me get this out of the way first. It is ridiculously easy. It is stupidly easy. It is like baby's first game from what I've seen. The demo was just cake. I even picked what was supposed to be the more challenging difficulty that it said is only for experienced players, and it was an absolute joke. But I smiled the entire time. I had so much fun just playing that demo. What it reminded me of, I've told you guys on the podcast that I owned a Vita, and actually I was a huge fan of the PlayStation Vita. It reminded me of Tearaway, and that was a rad game. I really liked Tearaway. I have no clue how to enter this little building. I probably can't. So that's what it reminded me of. Tearaway was a cake game, and it did kind of feel like it was targeted at kids, but it was so good for a smile, and that's what Crafted World was like. I actually cannot wait for Crafted World now that I've played that demo. The next one that I was super excited about, was the biggest one of the entire show, the one that I am most pumped to play. Actually, no, hold up, there's one more that I almost forgot. Oh my goodness. My second most hyped game of the show was actually a complete left curve. It was Tetris 99. When I first got my Switch, I got Puyo Puyo Tetris, and I did it because my wife didn't know I was buying a Switch. We're very much like a partnership type marriage. So before I spend money on anything that costs more than, $50, I clear it with her. And I did not clear the Switch purchase with her. Although I did it with, I did it with trade credit. So I knew this is my stuff. She won't care. But the reason I say that is I got Puyo Puyo to hopefully soften the blow to her that, yes, I did just buy I did just spend like $400 on a console and games. Because I thought she'd play Puyo Puyo with me. I didn't think I liked Tetris. I really wasn't interested in the game, but I knew you could play co-op, and I knew she liked Tetris. And then it turns out, okay, wait a minute. I know I'm a noob. I haven't played much of this game, honestly, ever. Why do I keep getting in these open rooms with nothing in them? At the bottom of pipes. I don't understand. Anyway, it turns out I love Puyo Puyo. Well, no, I love Tetris, rather. I love Puyo Puyo Tetris. I didn't like the Puyo Puyo mode, but I loved Tetris itself. And funny enough, my wife hardly ever plays that game with me, but I play the crap out of it. So anyway, I jump into Tetris 99, and if you didn't see the Direct, if you're not aware of what this is, you should download Tetris 99, rather. It is a Tetris Battle Royale. It's as quirky as you would imagine a Tetris Battle Royale could be, or should be, or would have to be. First things first, it pits you against 99 other people, as the name implies, Tetris 99. You're all playing simultaneously, and the whole time that you're playing, you can see tiny previews of what other people are doing. And you have the ability to use your left stick to target other people's games for your trash. So the whole concept, as you know, if you've played two-player or multiplayer Tetris before, you know the idea is that as you clear rows, you're putting trash onto other people's game boards. So the idea is that you... Ooh, get that one up. Yeah! The idea is that you're going to aim your trash at certain people. You might aim it at the people who are the closest to being KO'd. You can aim it at the people who are targeting you. It's really cool. It gives you lots of options to be able to actively attack the other people that are on the board and try to whittle them down. So far, my best has been 16th out of 99, which I was pretty proud of because I'm not that great at Tetris, even though I enjoy it. But it is a blast, and I think that it may prove to be one of my most played competitive multiplayer games on the Switch. And it's free to everybody with Switch Online. So if you've already got Switch Online, go get Tetris 99. Even if you don't like Tetris, you need to try it out because it's awesome. So, okay. What the heck am I doing here? I can't remember. Okay, let's do that one. Okay, hurry up. Why are you scratching so slow? Let's do this one. Oh yeah, you know what it is. Red and yellow, red and yellow. Oh son, look at this. Oh, was I supposed to get Baby Mario? Did I just straight up fail hard? Man, I thought I won. I wasn't paying any attention. Okay, so anyway, so my second most hyped game of the show is absolutely Tetris 99. My number one game of the show, though, by far, no contest, Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem Three Houses. I am a huge Fire Emblem fan. In fact, if you asked me, my favorite games of all time are Red Dead 2. Believe it or not, I know that's a new one, but it's absolutely my number one favorite game of all time. I love that game. So Red Dead 2. What the crap? Man, it's been way too long since I've played. Doink. Oh, that would... is that not what I was supposed to do? Doink. Oh well, I tried. Anyway, Red Dead 2, Dark Souls, and... You're a bad guy. You're a bad guy. Come on, Yoshi. Come on, Yoshi. Okay. So anyway, Dark Souls 1 and Majora's Mask and Red Dead 2 are my favorite games of all time. None of those are tactical turn-based RPGs, but if you press me and ask me what my favorite genre is, I would probably tell you that tactical turn-based RPGs are one of my favorite genres. I adore them. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced and A2, War of the Lions, Tactics Ogre, XCOM. My gosh, man, I love these games. And Fire Emblem is one of my favorite series in there because you get, not only do you get the turn-based tactics, and you get the gratification of doing something that involves brains, but you also get story and character development. You get the relationship type stuff that I love from the Persona series. And in this game, you're basically a Hogwarts professor. I mean, take one of my favorite genres and one of my favorite game series of all time and add in freaking Hogwarts. How could it possibly be any better than that? I don't even think it could be. So anyway, Fire Emblem Three Houses looks absolutely incredible. If you haven't watched stuff about it yet, go watch it. The other thing that I'm just pumped about this, and this is a simple thing, but Fire Emblem is a game that I personally have only played handheld. I know that it was out on consoles and everything, but I never owned those consoles. At least not as far as I can recall. I think that, well, no, that's not true. I had like Game Boy Advance and stuff like that. But wait, that is a handheld. See, this whole streaming and talking thing is harder than it may seem. I never owned any of the home consoles, as far as I'm aware, that had Fire Emblem on them. And so I'm pretty excited to take the stuff that I loved from like Fire Emblem Awakening and Fire Emblem Fates and some of the Game Boy games and be able to bring it with me on a home console, but also have the portability. Because you guys, I'm sure know, Fire Emblem and just turn-based games in general are perfect for handheld. It's so awesome to be able to go and get on a plane, get on a train, just sit in the back of a car and play a turn-based game. It just works. So all of those things add up to what I think is going to be an incredible game. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed that Direct as much as I did. I am stoked. There's honestly a lot of games. You can tell there's several that I didn't talk about. There's a lot of games that I just don't care about. They're not my thing. But there's also a whole lot of games that I'm really pumped for. And I'm excited to see, whoa, hello, buddy. I am excited to see what Nintendo is going to do with the Switch this year, in addition to what they've already told us. And I love the new direction that Nintendo is going. I wasn't a Nintendo fan, really at all until recently. I never owned the classic Nintendo systems. The only games that I really was passionate about were the Donkey Kong Country games. because my dad used to rent a Super Nintendo from Blockbuster back in the day and rent Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2. So I had crazy passion for those. And then I had an N64 that I enjoyed for a while, but I really was never like a big Nintendo guy. I never had a GameCube. I had a Wii, but I didn't really care for it. Never owned a 3DS. I'm sorry, I owned a 3DS. I never owned a Wii U. I love the handhelds, but I didn't really care for the consoles. And so it's really exciting for me to see what Nintendo's been doing with the Switch and what I think they could do in the future. Plus, now, I get to play Warframe on my Switch. It's real good. So, anyway, we're going to go back to being a Warframe show pretty darn soon. Hopefully you enjoyed this little kind of spin-off episode and my first attempt at live video. This was super helpful to me in being able to practice streaming live. Hopefully everything went okay with the feed. Anyway, as always, you can check out Nintenno Podcast on all your favorite podcasting platforms. We're on basically everything. Nintenno Podcast airs new episodes every Friday. Come back, Mario. No. That was great. No. Give me that baby. Give me that baby. Okay, so follow us on all your favorite podcasting platforms. We are on Google. We are on Apple. We are on Spotify. We're all over the place. Like I said, every Friday we upload new episodes. If you're not aware of the show, we are a beginner-friendly podcast. So our goal is to really offer information for people who are still new to the game. We started when the game came to Nintendo Switch, when Warframe came to Switch. So we try to offer information that may be relevant to people who've only been playing for a few months. Check us out on there. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Nintenno Podcast. Obviously, you can follow us here on YouTube. We're going to put out, hopefully, a video version of every episode of our audio podcast, and also a lot of random videos just like this one. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day.